On a warm evening in August 2007, an 8-year-old girl left her home in Kuala Lumpur for what should have been a short trip to a nearby night market. It was a short walk, a familiar route, and one she had taken before. But that night, she never came back. Her name was Nurin Jazlin Jazimin. For weeks, her family searched desperately across the city, hanging posters calling her name, hoping someone had seen the little girl. But the truth behind her disappearance would turn this into one of the most horrifying child murder cases in the country. A discovery made weeks later, hidden inside a sports bag, would send shockwaves across the nation. And even today, the questions surrounding what happened to Nurin Jazlin still haunt many. Before her name became known across an entire country, Nurin Jazlin Jasmine was simply a little girl with a normal childhood. She was just 8 and she lived with her family in Kuala Lumpur, where she spent her days like other children her age, going to school, playing with friends, and enjoying small things that made up her world. To the people who knew her, Newton was described as bright, cheerful, and affectionate. She loved spending time with her family, and she was especially close to her parents. The first thing that people often noticed about her was her beautiful hair. It was long, thick, and glossy, the type of hair that other children admired and even felt a little jealous of. Nurin loved it just as much. She had this sweet habit of collecting hair clips, always excited to find new ones for her beautiful hair. On the day everything changed, Nurin had left home for a simple reason. She wanted to go out and buy a new hair clip, and her mother had made the mistake of letting her go out alone, especially after her older sister didn't accompany her that day. It was supposed to be a short trip, a quick walk to the market and back home again. But she never returned. As minutes turned into hours, her family began to grow worried. Her mother, Norasian, went out herself and searched the market stalls, asking shoppers and vendors if they had seen her daughter. Stall by stall, she searched, hoping someone had seen the little girl that she was trying to describe. But no one could tell her where Nurin had gone, and soon the family realized something was deeply wrong. They filed a missing child report, and the search for Nurin finally began. According to one neighbor, they claimed to have seen something disturbing earlier that evening. They said they had seen Nurin being followed by a man in his 20s, and soon after, another man reportedly joined him. The neighbor claimed that the two men had forced Nurin into a white van before driving away. However, another account suggested that it may have been one of Nurin's relatives who witnessed the abduction. With conflicting accounts and no clear answers, the situation quickly grew more frightening. In the weeks that followed, a massive search effort was launched. Volunteers, community members, and numerous organizations joined the effort to find the missing 8-year-old. The search was supported by news media and non governmental organizations who helped spread Nurin's story across the country. Posters were placed everywhere on walls, lamp posts, and shop windows, carrying the face of a little girl whose family was desperately hoping she would come back home. Nearly a month after the disappearance of Nurin Jazlin Jasmine, the case took a devastating turn. On 17 September 2007, a sports bag was found outside a shop in Petaling Jaya, near Kuala Lumpur. Inside the bag, there was a body of an unidentified child, and the child had been placed in a fetal position. Investigators believe that the child had been dead for more than 6 hours before the discovery. The condition of the body revealed that the child had been subjected to severe abuse, and medical examination later determined that a bacterial infection had contributed to the child's death, since a brinjal and cucumber had been found forced inside the child. Their neck was marked as if someone had strangled them brutally, and the kid was so skinny as if they hadn't been fed in so long. At the time, the identity of the child could not immediately be confirmed. When the body was shown to Nurin's parents, they were unable to identify the child as their daughter. Changes in the body's physical appearance made recognition extremely difficult. Investigators also noticed that the child did not appear to have the scar usually left by the mandatory BCG vaccination against tuberculosis, which led to speculation that the victim might have been a foreigner. Because of this uncertainty, Nurin's parents continued to hold on to hope that their daughter might still be alive. During this time, they received cruel prank calls from people claiming that Nurin was under their care, adding more distress to an already painful period. However, the truth would soon be confirmed through DNA testing. The results showed that the body found inside the sports bag was indeed Nurin Jazlin. After the confirmation, Nurin's family came to collect her body from the Kuala Lumpur hospital. On 21 September 2007, after the Friday noon prayers, Nurin Jazlin was laid to rest at the Muslim cemetery in Taman Ibu Kota Setapak in Kuala Lumpur. The terrible way Nurin Jazlin was killed shocked the whole country. Her death was so cruel that many people believed a dangerous psychopathic person was behind it. People all over Malaysia were angry and heartbroken. Newspapers, social media, and blogs were full of outrage, with some calling it the most horrifying crime in the country in years. Even the Prime Minister at the time, Abdullah Ahmad Badawi, spoke about possibly making a list of convicted child sex offenders public. The police chief, Musa Hassan, suggested looking into whether Nurin's parents had been careless, which could have led to legal charges. And I honestly agree with him. This caused a lot of anger, with leaders like Lee Lamthe saying it would be unfair to punish the parents who had already lost their daughter. Police offered a reward of Rm 10,000 for anyone with information about the killer, which was quickly matched by a private businessman. A few days later, on 2nd October, an Indonesian woman was arrested at a market in Nilai, Negeri Sembilan. She tried to swallow a SIM card she had with her when police confronted her. On 11 October, police released CCTV footage showing what happened near the shop where Nurin's body was found. The video showed a motorcyclist leaving a sports bag at the shop lot around 1 p.m., and an hour later, a woman standing near the shop and three men arriving. The images were blurry, and even after sending them to the FBI to improve, the motorcyclist's face and the motorcycle's plate couldn't be seen. Years later, in 2018, Nurin's father asked the police to reopen the case. He hoped that with new technology, the police could finally find out who was responsible for his daughter's death. Nothing really changed in terms of solving the murder. Even though he hoped modern tools might uncover new clues, the police did not officially reopen the investigation and the case remains unsolved to this day. The authorities have said the case is still open, but no new breakthroughs or arrests have been reported. Nurin Jazlin was just a little girl with her whole life ahead of her. Her story is one of unimaginable tragedy, and though years have passed, the pain still lingers in the hearts of her family and the nation. Her case reminds us of the fragility of the innocence and the need to protect the most vulnerable among us. Even though her killer has never been found, Nurin's memory continues to shine as a symbol of the lives we must fight to safeguard. Her story may be heartbreaking, but it also calls on all of us to never forget, to always speak up, and to stand for the safety of children.